Hello. I'm live, so now I need to get the link. All right. I'm going to, oh, dang it. Copy. And we're going to go here. Let's go to YouTube. No, I don't want that. Okay, so it's muted. All right, I have people watching, so I need to go on Facebook and share and go on Patreon and share because this, I am about to do a journal flip through, y'all. I am at the end of my journal. I am at the end of my journal, and I am super excited about it. If you give me just a moment, I'll be able to chat, post, live stream, use YouTube Live. Here we go. Paste. Journal flip through. Hey, I'm live. I don't even know. 4:49. No, I want it right now. Okay, so we'll do 5 o'clock then. 5. Okay. I don't know. It won't let me do it like I'm supposed to on Patreon. So now let's go to Facebook. And let's go here. I'm live. Okay. And then we'll go here. One last place, y'all. Just bear with me. I'm live. Ah, okay. Hello. It's going to be a minute. I'm going to show you my journal. I am, oh my gosh, finished. Pretty much. I have one 2-page spread left in my journal. And this thing has me backwards. So everything is going to be backwards. I'm going to go into my advanced preferences. Let's do normal. Let's hit save. It says Google's controlling it. So now let's see if I'm flipped around. Okay, it flipped me around. Okay, y'all are gonna see like the mess that's on my desk right now and my craft table because I have to move the webcam to here and I have the camera up on here and I was going to film it, but I'm so excited that I don't want to wait. So can you hear me okay? I'm going to write that down here. Can you hear me? Okay. Make sure that y'all can hear me. All right. I don't think I have ever done a complete flip through of a journal live. My husband is in the living room watching something on TV. And like I said, I'm going to move the webcam. I'm so excited. My tooth hurts. Well, my lack of tooth hurts. I had my tooth pulled and it's still swollen. and I can't eat anything except soft stuff. So if I sound funny because my mouth is still drooling a lot, then y'all will please just have to excuse me. But we're going to get started. I'm going to put my hand over it for a moment. It takes a lot of work to do this, but it's worth it, I think. Yay! We are in operation. It's a little crooked. Give me just a few minutes. This is a little bit of a lag, so I'm trying to make sure that I have it in frame. I'm getting there. I don't want to mess with the webcam. Now let's see. When I see my hand and I know yes or no, it's in focus. Because like I said, there's a lag between YouTube and Google Hangout. And I leave Google Hangout behind. I watch from YouTube and just mute YouTube. Aha. Okay, so I need to go up just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. All right. I think we're rocking and rolling. Okay. For those of you who are now seeing this, this is my insert, and I'm chronicling my favorite supplies and what I'm using each month. I'm going to do review like some of my favorites, and I'm doing that right here. Okay. And this is the Strathmore mixed media paper. These journals are from Documented Journey. She has a YouTube channel and an Etsy store, and I ordered a new one of these. It should be in tomorrow, which is good. And then this is my sketchbook, and I did not get that film over it, so I'm going to have to take some glue and redo this right here because I got paint on it, y'all. I got paint on it. I don't know. I like how it gets worn. I like the feel of it without the paint, but it can get messed up because this is watercolored, and I have done that. So this is the prototype of the Tomaway River journals. She now is selling them on her shop. Her printer broke, and she's getting a new one. So some people have ordered them. Hopefully more people. Hopefully they will order them because it's going to take a couple of days. She had to order another printer. They didn't have one right then and there where it would have gotten to her within a day or two, and she looked where she lives. So my journal was actually ordered before that happened. I think the cover of mine was the last one that got printed before her printer broke. So I feel so blessed, y'all. So this is the prototype. This is a sticker right here that of one of her journal covers she's painted, and she has her initials. So here is the start of my journal. So I have 7 people watching. I did this in Patreon too, so hopefully it's working there and everything. I will kind of keep looking at the comments. If you are watching from Patreon, please go to the YouTube link, and so I can tell that y'all are here because I can't flip-flop and back and forth. And the comments on Patreon take a lot longer to get on there than they do. They come right up on YouTube. So I started this out with this, and I did a plein air sketch, And I did it 2 different ways. My bench is out there. And this was where I did some journaling about being brave, which is my word for the year. Hello. So this was mostly about Victor. And I actually started doing flip-ins because I really wanted to test this journal out for her and let her know what I thought. I did some personal goals in here, a wish list, a want and a need, a brain dump, some more ideas for coffee chats and things like that, some journal supply information, adding all kinds of things, stickers and clip art. This came from something I got from the grocery store. That came from the Cracker Jacks. That was the Chinese food. I had lunch with my mom. This was a little tiny bit of urban sketch because I had to go run a couple of errands. These trees look so beautiful outside, and I wanted to chronicle them. And it kind of bled through a little bit, but that was okay. Doing different things. And she added, she didn't add vellum in the Tomoe River journals that she was selling on Etsy. She added it to mine. And she's so sweet. I think she's added it to the one I just ordered that I had custom made because I had a mixture. I asked her to do a mixture of the Tomoe River paper and the Strathmore mixed media paper in the journal, the new journal for me. So I like the vellum. I think it's really pretty. That was a laundry basket, although I mean, I own a lot of red clothes, some blue and black, but mostly it would be red and black in there. Watching with the sun. Cool. Hello. So Art Snacks came in, and I just put the sticker here. And as you can tell, my pen is a little crooked. We're doing progress, not perfection in my journal. You'll see a lot of mistakes. You'll see cross throughs. You'll see crooked stuff. You'll see where I mess up. I drew Mr. Rockstar, and we were watching Supernatural, and I ended up drawing Mr. Rockstar looking more like Dean from Supernatural than himself. But that's what I wrote right here. Sometimes it's not about getting it right. It's about doing it. Aiming for peace, not perfection. See where sometimes this kind of got stuck because the page closed when the paint was still wet. And, you know, just chronicling things. I did laundry. This was newsletter information, and I am going to write some more about the new newsletter right here before I close this journal out. I will do that. I did this live, and the Google Hangout thing worked when I did that, and I'm just going to have to remember that I need to go in my actual webcam settings to fix that because Google Toolbox is not working right. So this started out one way, and it ended up a little imperfect, and I was like, you know what, that's okay. And I put the sticker on here, gorgeous, and wrote be brave, and it turned out okay, I think. I moved my file cabinet. I've been cleaning and organizing in here. Blog post, copy chat, some clip art that I had in a stack of papers somewhere, and I thought they were kind of cute and they kind of fit the mood, and I stuck them in here. This came from Hobonichi stuff, and these were all together on a postcard from Goulet Pens that got sent with something I ordered, and I like them. I actually have one sitting on my desk to use sometime or another that says Empower Through Education. That might go maybe somewhere when I journal some more about today. Because of yesterday's shooting in Florida. That was so sad. I'm still torn up about it. I used to live in Florida, in Jacksonville. My kids went to school there for a little while. So, I mean, it could be anybody. It's just so sad. So this was where I took some notes about a coffee chat for Patreon, and I drew coffee cups, and I just was practicing. I like those. I have had good days and bad days, and I need to get out of the house. I did that, and, you know, camera what I'm doing, and I drew this. And that kind of made me feel better, just drawing it out about how I felt. Sometimes it helps. I think the sketchbook school's prompt was balloons, so I drew balloons. Sometimes I do prompts and sometimes I don't. More of the vellum, and I really liked this, so that was, I think that one turned out pretty decently. I think the moon is a little bit too neon, but so this turned out really well. She, because of the watercolor and the pen on the other side where I did lettering, I ended up poking a hole in my paper. And then it looks like she's, like the letters came through right here and this came through right here. So it looks like her face is kind of cracked a little, but I like how it looks. Because like I said, I've been grieving and it hits me in spurts. So this, I liked how this turned out. I think it actually turned out really well. I've been practicing with faces and having pictures that don't look, sometimes I practice with having things look more three-dimensional so they don't look so flat like clip art and more like real people. So this was just some journaling and I wrote some words, drew the and watercolored a coffee cup. I saw the biggest spider I think I've ever seen in our bathroom, and I am not a fan of them, but I'm not actually scared of them. But this one was huge. I called it Charlotte, like Charlotte's Web, and I actually drew it to chronicle how big that spider was. So made dinner. I was been doing things, work stuff. I was listening to myself and doing a voiceover and editing a video. I drew my dad from memory, and this turned out pretty good, except that the head is too small for the frame. So I went in and fixed it a little. I added some white pen to kind of tone this down so that it didn't look quite so big. I could have went in again and did a little bit more where, you know, so it's not quite so, but, and I messed up his arm right here, but that's okay. You know, it happens. Like I said, progress, not perfection. Every time I do it, I get a little better at it. And that's what's important, is that I get a little better. So then I did, I was failing at doing some things and I kept throwing the things away, and it was creating an insert, and I drew the stapler with the little notebook trying to create it. And I finally was like, okay, that didn't work very well. So I ended up cutting down a breeze. It's a notebook from Taroko Design. It has the Tomoe River paper, but it's half the size of the Enigma. So then I got a little interactive. I added some tip-ins. Progress is your word for the year. Yes, I like progress. So I'm going to make sure that the tip-ins are in the frame because, like I said, there's a lag. So I need to know, okay, they are in the frame. So I had a really great moment with Victor and I wanted to chronicle it. So I wrote about it right here on the back side, and I like this. It makes me think of wishes. And I did the different pictures of me. The one that Bree drew, this is me going urban sketching, my B6 jellyfish that I've been using. And this, make sure this one is in frame. And I drew Snoopy and added this from a magazine and used my washi tape that looks like newspaper print. And right here had taken pictures. This is the A5 leather folio that I have from Taroko Design that my Enigma is in. And I should be getting a new Enigma any day. And it's the plain 68 GSM Tomoe River paper that I'm going to be doing doodles in for Patreon and for the newsletter, so that I can keep them all in one notebook. And I'm going to use that to house it in. So this is letting go. And I really like that picture because I'm letting go of the A5 size as being my primary journal, because I have fallen in love with the B6. I really enjoyed doing this Snoopy, and I liked adding the different elements, stickers and journal cards and washi tape. And this was a lot of fun to create, even though that's like normally it's out of my comfort zone. So I had a flat tire. And although I drew this on the wrong side, It's like I'm driving in England here because yeah. I had to draw the steering wheel over here because I realized I drew it on the wrong side. So I guess my car is just backwards. It's the mirror image. So that's what I did with this. I went grocery shopping and I drew the front of the grocery store. I was filming and I drew what I was filming. We had lunch and dinner and coffee, and this is 2 days in a row where I was doing different things. It rained. I started the supply series and I put some pictures in here, game face, because you know sometimes you get in front of the camera or you journal. Hello, you journal. You love how you chronicle things with Victor. I like to chronicle what he says and what he does. Sometimes when, you know, I don't do it every time because sometimes I'm in the moment and I don't even take pictures. Hello, Persephone. And sometimes I don't even take pictures because I'm in the moment with him. And then other times I do take pictures. Sometimes I go on Facebook and go to my daughter's page and get some of her pictures of him. So I chronicled the backpack with supplies, what the weather was like, because, you know, different things. This was community to me. It represented community because that's what I'm doing the journal supplies video for, because people have asked for it. And I think it's important that people know that there are all different kinds of ways that you can use some supplies, and we don't always have to use the expensive versions. Sometimes it's better, you know, quality over quantity. It depends. I would rather have a handful of the better paints, just a handful, than a whole bunch of inexpensive paints. Now that I know what I'm doing. But you have to learn. So Mr. Victor and I had gotten some candy, and this is where I put "I will conquer perfectionism," and this was right here were things that I drew for my patrons. They were PDFs the little doodles I did and made PDFs out of. Some of this is stuff that I actually drew. The little phone, the little headphones, the little cassette deck, that kind of stuff. I actually drew those. And that came from clip art, and I put him on top of there, and this came from something else, and I wrote perfectionism, and I wrote it in a way that's not perfect, so that it's not super neat, because that's what this is about, you know, being authentic. So this sticker came from Bree with this insert, and I'm going to have to eventually get some stickers. I like how she does her faces. So these are clip art. These things right here were clip art. All of these things were not clip art. All of these things were little PDF doodles that I drew for Patreon. The laundry basket, the old-timey TV, the little journal that looks like a blue Hobonichi, a cup of coffee to go, a laptop, the little book. I added that little piece of washi tape that looks like dictionary right there, and then another little coffee cup. So I did those doodles, and then I got interactive again. Let's make sure this is in the frame. And see, I can't edit this, so I can't take out where I mistakenly say something wrong. So I have to slow myself down here. So this is where we're at. And this card came in those same little journal cards, the little beautiful moments that came out of the flow book I got sent. And I added my little doodle PDF of the rose on top of the plant. Underneath here, it just had a plant. And I added the rose to that. And then I added a picture of my jellyfish that I cut. It was an A5 trifold, and I cut it down to a B6. And I talked about what a beautiful moment. This was the little spiral bound notebook that I drew the PDF doodles. This was the envelope. And I put another piece of that washi that's like dictionary. I drew a little donut. I added this. It was like a journal card, and I cut it out to heart shaped and put the little rose washi tape. And then up here, when you look at it, it has me smelling. When I originally got that B6 jellyfish, the bifold, I took a picture of me smelling it. It was actually part of the video, so it was a snapshot. And I added the little coffee cup PDF doodle that I did, and then some button This was button. I think this paper came from one of the Smash books, and I wrote hello over it. And then I used heart washi tape, and I really like how that looked. This, because this had some of that cardboard. It was the last bit of that washi tape. It kind of looks old and kind of faded, like a dictionary would. Now let me make sure I have my journal back in here. I'll take a sip of coffee. This lag. Okay, I'm gonna move it up a little. So you see the heart behind the vellum paper. I watercolored that heart and then journaled over it in the turquoise. My TWSBI Mini has that turquoise ink. That's that Iro Suzuki or Suzuka. I can't. There's no way I can say that ink. Anyway, it's that one. It's the turquoise. I really liked how that looked. Really liked how that looked. When you flip this over, this looks kind of cool over that because you can see the February through it. You can see the rose through it, the little envelope, the little donut. So here's where this is supposed to be my daughter. And I didn't do the hair quite dark enough, but actually that might be the best picture of my daughter I have drawn. That might be the best picture. So this was one of the little doodles I did. These were doodles I did for, and then this I printed out. Jen had posted this, and it says, keep calm and be creative with a hand. And I put a watercolor, piece of watercolor on it. I glued it to it behind the hand. And I had forgotten that it was Groundhog Day. So I did Groundhog Day on the little groundhog right here, and his shadow starts, and drew him right here. And then this was me. That was an up hair. My hair was up. Looking forward to getting back to more artistic journaling. All the time for it. It's text journaling, and also feeling exciting. All the color and ephemera. Yes. And Persephone, just so you know, Mr. Rockstar and I will be sometime this weekend or next weekend, depending. I will be mailing out I have an actual big box for you. So with your postcard, actually it'll be next weekend, not this weekend. With your postcard, it's going to come Happy Mail, a whole big box of Happy Mail. So I added washi tape of flowers right here. I know how it feels. And Mr. Rockstar asked me if I had sent you anything yet. And I told him, no, not yet. And I showed him what I was going to do for your postcard. And he said, you need to, I said, I am sending her stuff. So I like chronicling my mood sometimes with this. And I really wanted to draw my daughter. So, and then here, Art Snacks February box came in. And it had the little hearts on it. And I normally have been putting their stickers when I do the drawing of my Art Snack supplies, but lately I just wanted to take the sticker and put it in here and then draw the sticker on that. So I drew the tape dispensers that I got from Amazon. Not a big fan of this brand, so I may go back to the Tombow when all of these are used up. This was a cheap no-name brand from Amazon. Not a fan. So Jen or somebody posted this. I drew the watercolor travel brushes. I did a mini version of it. And then this says, there is nothing more rare nor more beautiful than a woman being unapologetically herself, comfortable in her perfect imperfection. To me, that is the true essence of beauty. And I loved what that said. So that's there. We watched a movie with Mr. Victor, and I had to chronicle it. I had to. So we weren't watching the Super Bowl around here. We were watching other stuff, cartoony stuff, Ice Age, and all kinds of stuff. And I was journaling, and You know, I drew Charlie Brown with the football, and you know, hello. And then I had been wanting to use this card. This came from Jenny Pitton a long time ago, but I didn't want to use, I wanted to be careful about what word I chose to use it for because of the word chosen. So this is some of that scrapbook paper, the acetate with the writing on it, and I drew that extended my version of the outside of what would be inside, and then put the little stickers for Super Bowl because we chose not to watch Super Bowl, even though we really wanted to see the commercials. And we chose to spend quality time together and watch something we really wanted to watch, movie and stuff, and to spend time with Victor and to spend time with each other instead of watching Super Bowl and the materialistic, even though sometimes funny and amusing commercials. I will go back later and online watch the commercials from the Super Bowl, but neither one of us really had a dog in that fight, and so we weren't really, you know, we decided to spend quality time together. So here's where I added some things, got a little interactive again, and this came, I talked about this came on a sheet. They're right here. I won this in a giveaway a long time ago, and I like to cut them out and use them in my journal sometimes. I could write little to-dos, you know, stick it at my desk and write the little to-dos, but I like to actually use them in my journal. So I did, this is one of those little PDFs and another little PDF, and this picture of Victor has got to be replaced. He dressed up as a little old man, and the ink was fading from my printer, and I have just now put new ink in it, so I could actually print one out now. But that's okay. I may put another one in there and do it as a tip-in over that one, but I like how weird that one looks. So this came in Happy Mail, and I wrote 3 positive things. That was one of the prompts. And then something I'm grateful for, Mr. Victor, who thinks I rock. And then I put that where it says express gratitude, and I put this in the little mermaid heart. It looks like fish scales instead of a mermaid scale. I like the different ocean kind of theme, and I used the washi that came with the Happy Mail. And I did the blue around here, and I really like how that turned out. This came on her business card, tag you're it, which I liked being right there with Victor. I like the color scheme. Not as much a fan, but I did like how this ended up in the long haul. This came from an advertisement from my phone and internet company. I like this. This was in that flow book, and I really wanted to use it. And I drew that from memory, and it's not an accurate, but it's not what the coffee cup really looks like, but it's close enough. This, right, all of these came from the PDF. This came from probably that flow book. This came from the flow book, and I put a letter in here from my future self, and then stuck this on this envelope, and the letters inside of this little envelope. And this is the kawaii poop post-it notes. And I've started using these and writing a little bit of a journal when Mr. Rockstar's Crohn's disease is really acting up, so I can kind of keep track of what we eat that really bothers him. It doesn't happen as often now, but it does still happen. So I think from now on, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to chronicle it with one of these little post-it notes so that I can kind of keep up. So I did this watercolored and put this quote, and normally I would have taken a pencil and measured it out and wrote it out, and then taken my pen and went over it so that it would have been more perfect looking, so that, you know, I am by no means a lettering person. I have a hard time doing even faux calligraphy. I can make my handwriting neat, but it takes a long time to do something like this. I would have had to let my OCD run rampant and take the pencil and the ruler and all, but I decided not to, and I just winged it and just did it. And that's why this letter is not centered the way that it should be. Otherwise, I think it looks okay. This right here, I would have changed. But that's okay. Like Persephone said, no worries. These are where I've been doing the Snoopy coffee cups that I'm about to send out. I drew them in my journal first. This one I think I need to make just a little bit bigger. But I wanted the cup to be the size of Snoopy. And I guess it's next to this cup, it makes it look little. But if it were on its own postcard with the marshmallows and stuff, it wouldn't really look little. So I like this one too. This is one of my favorites. I like all of them. But out of the favorites, I'd have to say that this one and the marshmallows, and these are some of my favorites. My husband likes, I'll show you which one Mr. Rockstar likes. So this is Snoopy with hot chocolate. This is Snoopy, hey, come on now, we can't waste a drop. This is Snoopy with, this is Snoopy hugging you. This is Goth Snoopy. This is Artist Snoopy, which is actually going to be for more than Courtney. It's going to be for a couple people. This is Mermaid Snoopy. Haven't been able to pay a lot of attention doing the mom thing. I'll watch later. Okay. This is Mermaid Snoopy. This is Quilting Snoopy. This is the Flutist Snoopy. This one's for, some of these are for my patrons. And then I have to draw 2 more Snoopies, which are the only other blank pages in my journal. And I'm going to be working on those tonight. I haven't decided. I need to do another, like a generic. I haven't decided whether I want to draw Snoopy holding a coffee cup, you know, or what. I have to figure that out. The Snoopies turned out great. Thank you. I think they do. I think they're personal. I wanted to create some for my patrons. So I want to do 2 more, and I think the ones that I'm going to make for all of the main, like the YouTube people, is going to be this Snoopy with the heart hugging, or a Snoopy with a coffee cup. And I like that one too. So then we get to where I was showing the different products, and I did this journal page, and somebody asked me why I had 2 of these. And I had 2 of everything except this. I had 3 of this because I wanted to show the difference between what would be the different levels of supplies, from cheap to medium to more expensive. And I wrote down, did smush the watercolor here, and then journaled about some of the supplies and what some of my favorites are. And then I did this this is all watercolor and collage work. I didn't do any mixed media. Like it is mixed media, I should say, but I didn't actually add any acrylic, and I'm gonna have to glue that back down. But I wanted to do something with this spread, so I did, and I added words from magazines. You're missing a writing. Yes, that's the other one, but I need another Snoopy. I've got a writing Snoopy. I just have to draw it. I've drawn a lot of Snoopies with the typewriter, so I have to do that one. But so I really liked how this turned out. This one was interactive. I went to the dentist, drew huge pliers and the tooth because the tooth was cracked. And the dentist with a really big smile with a lot of teeth, and he had white hair. And I liked this flower. I had some tea, and that washi tape with the flower just kind of reminded me. I got sent the big box of Happy Mail, which had some stuff in it for self-care, which I really liked. Those heel covers and the exfoliating towels. Threw watercolor down and journaled, and this I made interactive, so this little journal card can come out of there, and I put that on there, and then wrote down some of the things that I did, because Monday and Tuesday for me were self-care days because I went to the dentist, and this was the thing from the dentist where it told me what to do. So this I added watercolor down and then did some journaling. And then this is actually Valentine's Day. And I had an old Leonie Dawson planner, and I cut that out of it from there, and then journaled. wrote Happy Valentine's, used some of this paper that came from something that Victor had from school, because I had Victor for part of the day on Valentine's Day. I added this. Leanne from Creatively Free to Be Me just did a video about how to add these kind of things to make yourself a pocket. And I journaled right here, and I added the little hearts and added that. You saw that on one of the other things. This came on the candy bar that I have yet to eat because of my mouth that I got for Valentine's Day. Mr. Rockstar made sure to get me something that was Snoopy. This is from the fountain pen that I got for Valentine's. And let's see. It should be in this pile of stuff that I have. Here it is. So this is the Platinum Balance. This one is the Platinum Cool. The only thing about this is I can take the stuff and make this cartridge, the converter part silver, so they'll match. That's what I'm going to do with my Leonie Dawson planner repurpose. Yes, I really like the cute art, and I've still kept it. And I'm going to be cutting out some of the little prompts and stuff and using it. So this has a fine nib. This is the demonstrator. And like I said, I can take that out. And Brian from Goulet Pens shows you how to do that to make it silver instead of the gold. But for this one, it's fine it being gold because this has the gold trim. This is a medium nib. And this one has Lexington gray in it. And this one has the platinum carbon ink in it. These are both right around $20 to $35 pens, depending on where you can find them. And depending on whether you need to buy a converter or not. These aren't super expensive pens for fountain pens, but they do write exceptionally well. I really love the way that they write. And this is the medium nib. And, oh, no. Okay, and here's today's page. And I wrote this with this pen. I haven't written down, but this is me. These were the paints that I got in. This was the other part of my Valentine's present. I got in 4 paints from Artistic Cat from Cat's Corner, and this came on the little package thing, so I saved that washi tape, did a demonstration, the little swatch of the colors that I got in, the new ones. I did my journal. I had to get a new mouse. My mouse broke. Oh my god. Oh. Editing videos with a mouse that only half works is a major pain in the hiney. And then this is me with a pen in my mouth and books. And then because I got new watercolors, I swatched all of my watercolors. And this is, I have a few that are duplicates, but these are my watercolors. And as you can see, I have the Gonzai Tambi over here. I have the Iridescent Moonstone right here. This is more, you know. But these are my watercolors. Yay for new writing, vlogging, artsy goodies. Yes, yes. I've been collecting for about a year now. And some of them have been anniversary presents, birthday presents, holiday presents, like the 4 watercolors and the pen for Valentine's Day. I didn't get any flowers. I got a bar of chocolate. He cooked me dinner. Well, of course, I went to the dentist, so I still was, you know, and I got a red pen. So, yeah. And then I am listing my new favorite YouTubers right here. I'm going to, because next week I'm doing that video. So if y'all have some people you'd like to suggest, by all means, message me on Facebook or somewhere. If you put the links below in the comment on YouTube, it's going to flag them. Hey, Tamara. So, and then this I did because I'm closing out the journal. And I made this interactive. I've been wanting to do this for such a long time. And I did this. And this is Oh my gosh, like one of my favorite things. I held washi tape right here. You can actually, you can see the blue on the edge. I took the washi tape and I painted around it with the indigo watercolor. Hey, and I added in a little bit of this in certain spots to make it kind of look a little cloudy. And then I used the iridescent moonstone and some of this really pale rutile yellow. It's number 205 from Schminke, which is a very, very pale yellow. And let it kind of bleed a little to make the moon. And I love how this, and then I took the pen that I got from Art Snacks, this liquid chrome, and added stars onto this. And it's interactive, y'all. I could actually take, look, I could move the paper some, and look. I love it. I have some of this acetate paper that I can't use in my printer. I can only use alcohol-based markers on it. It will not let me print with my printer because I mistakenly got it for a LaserJet printer instead of an inkjet printer. So I can use those for this kind of stuff, for making things or using it for watercolor and stuff like that. I like that I can do that. Like, you know, if I have to move the page. But I like, I'm starting to get into the adding stuff, and I am writing more in my journal. Like this is, I have a dream, and some of what I've been, my goals, my dreams, what I've been thinking about has changed some over the last 6 months with everything that's been going on. Thank you. Thank y'all. With everything that's been going on, my priorities have shifted somewhat. How I feel about the creative life is even more important now. Living my life to me, you know, being myself, being my authentic self, and living a creative life. And if I do well at it, then great. You know, if my book turns out well, then great. If my book doesn't, then hey, at least I wrote it. You know, progress, not perfection. So, you know, I'm gonna live my dream. And, you know, I think if I like Kevin Costner says, and I did this in the video for the newsletter, if I build it, they will come. And I think if I build upon my dream and I just keep doing that, and I keep being creative, and I keep living my life creatively and thinking outside of the box and challenging myself and getting out of my comfort zone, I think that's building it. And I think the rest will follow. So this is it. This is the last it. See, right here, right here. Look at that. So I want to do like a review right here, and then this will be tomorrow's journal page. And I'm done. I'm done. Look at that. Look at that goodness. Just look at that goodness. Look at all of that goodness. I'm y'all. I got a writing. I can write. Like, do you know how fancy having this red pen feels to use with my writer's Bible? And you know, next month starts planning for Camp NaNoWriMo. Camp NaNoWriMo. And I'm telling you, these two pens, because these are great writing pens. One's a fine and one's a medium. And y'all, you have to excuse my nail polish. Hello. I'm ready to rock and roll, y'all. I'm about ready to start planning. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm going to be a writing fiend. So for those of you who watch me on YouTube and follow me on Patreon, I will be doing videos, but the majority of my concentration is going in April, in July, and in November is about writing. Isn't that an awesome feeling? All those filled up pages, the Kriegel pages, the stuff, the art doors. Yes, and you know, here's the thing. What I wanted to talk about before I close. I didn't draw anything on this page except the little hearts with the marker. And I used the Crayola Super Tips for this. You can journal without drawing a thing. You can journal without drawing a thing. You can use tabs, things that come in the mail. That came on a postcard, a bunch of them, and I cut them up. This came from an old planner. This came from old scrapbook stuff. This was just an extra piece of pink paper I added a little bit of washi tape to, drew some hearts on, and wrote Happy Valentine's Day. I cut this up. This was a banner from some kind of scrapbook stuff. These came from the things that I ordered. This came from my candy bar. I could have glued that down on my journal page and wrote around it. This came from something Mr. Victor got in his bag at school. You can journal without drawing. You can cut out clip art. You can do stick figures, my dentist appointment stuff that came on stuff I ordered. Those were stickers that came from nothing. And I believe that came off of the envelope. Yeah, I'm gonna do the writer Snoopy and then a Snoopy, I think, like I said, Snoopy holding a coffee cup. So all of you who haven't emailed me your addresses, who I said, yes, you were part of the thing, or if you're in Patreon and you haven't sent me your address, please message me on Facebook or email me at Journey with Burgess and then send me your addresses. But you can do quotes. I drew those and added them in. That came off of a mail thing. That came off of mail. That's a picture. Where's the one where I did all the clip art? The whole thing was clip art. My flat tire. See, I actually do a lot of journaling, a lot of just writing words. I have a text journal that I write in, but sometimes for some stuff, I like to write it in here. So this page right here is all clip art except that one little coffee cup. And I just took construction paper or craft paper. This came off of something that came in that had to do with the percentages of growth or something from something. And I put it in there because I was talking about YouTube and the demonetization and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, because every time I turn around, my videos are being demonetized. I set up the thing to do the live video for this, and they had it as it was demonetized because it wasn't appropriate for all viewers, and it had no video hooked to it yet. That's how bad it is, y'all. I kid you not, I could screenshot it where it shows that it was demonetized for content that wasn't appropriate for all viewers, for all, and there was no video attached to it yet. I had only set up the event and had tagged that's it. It had a title and the tags, and that was it. And it was demonetized for content that was unsuitable, and it had no content. Yes, that is ridiculous. So just so y'all know, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. So this is all clip art and something that came from Happy Mail. This came from a brochure that came with my Hobonichi. This whole page, except this one little coffee cup and this one little area that I colored. That's it. Everything else is not stuff I did. It's stuff that came from somewhere else. Yes, it is sad because what happens is they demonetize within the first 48 hours usually. And that's when your videos do the best, is the first 48 hours. So, yeah, I'm pretty ticked off. And if I knew they wouldn't demonetize it again, I'd be cussing up a storm right now. But, you know, so this journal, y'all, I draw the 2 Snoopies I need to draw. I do tomorrow's journal page because that's when my new journal is supposed to come in, my new mouse. And look, you know where I got that from? It came in the thing that came with the mouse, and I cut it out, and then I took markers and colored it. That's my new mouse. So I'll finish filling this out. So like I said, if you know some YouTubers, and I really like how this turned out. Really like how this turned out. I'm going to have to take a picture of this and put it on Instagram. And I had the star, and I thought about doing the star. But then I was like, I don't think I really want the gold star. I like the way that it looks. So I'm gonna use the gold star and this tissue paper with the little stars that came. And I'm going to do something with this creative. I just don't know what yet. And I'm going to do it in my new journal. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to do something. So, yeah. But I like that, you know, so people understand you can do all kinds of things in your journal page. All kinds of things. You know, I cut up pictures. You could actually do any number of things. That mouse is so neat. Yeah, yeah. Actually, it was less expensive than the regular red one. I've had a red Logitech one, a gray and black Logitech one. I've had a Microsoft one, whatever. And then when I saw the red and purple mouse, and it was a smaller one, I was like, and it was less expensive. I was like, oh yeah, yeah. Because see, this is how it sits. I got watercolor all over and ink all over my Snoopy, but this is how it sits on my desk. I'm not sure if I can wash this, but if I can wash it, that was permanent ink, and I managed to get the bulk of it off. And see, there's red, and that's either marker or watercolor. I don't know. You know, it's gonna get dirty. Hopefully, I can wash it. So, but that's it. Just so y'all know, for those of you who want to journal and you want to add some kind of art or something, coloring books. You could color in a coloring book with crayons or markers, and cut something out of it and put it in your journal. You know, you can do comic strips that come in the newspaper, things from magazines, pictures from old calendars are like a great way to add things to your journal pages. That came from an old planner. So just so y'all know, you know, you can do all kinds of things. That doesn't quite look like a pen. It looks more like a cigar, but now maybe it looks more like a pen. There. But, you know, you could add all of these right here came from where I got the watercolor. This came in the package and I colored it. I drew that. That's supposed to be me, but I messed up the nose. And her eyes are kind of wonky, but that's okay. So those are my watercolors, the majority of them. And the big thing. And so y'all know, this is an old Derwent Inktense 24 tin. These are what the Inktense pencils came in. And I have put magnets, sticky magnet, cut them up into pieces. There's a little piece because that one, I ran out of magnet. And these are the Gonzai Tambi. And if y'all really want to journal, you want to add watercolor, get ones or Newton or Gonzai Tambi or Jane Davenport's watercolors. So this is how my watercolor stayed on my desk. And yeah. And I have all of them because I've actually been using for different things. I've been using them. So that's it, y'all. I'm like so excited. So excited. I don't know what to do myself. It's been such a long time since I actually filled the journal. So I'm going to write the review. This is tomorrow's page where my journal comes in. I need to finish my little Snoopies. I need to do my writing, Snoopy. Tamara, I think I have your address, but send it to me just in case. I need to do my writing Snoopy and my Snoopy with a coffee mug in his hand Snoopy. And then I think I've got all of the major Snoopies covered. Yeah. So I have to draw 2 more Snoopies. Finish writing right here. Because I got to send you a postcard. Yeah, and the postcard should be going out on the 23rd or 24th of February. I'm sending them out before the end of the month, but I'm going to send them. My postman's going to so not like me because I'm sending them all out at the end. All out at one time. So yeah, right here, minimum review. Yeah, that's it, y'all. That's it. And I got to get cracking on doing some more stuff in here. I need to go urban sketching. And I'll be doing March's stuff right here. See my shark? And there's my other shark. So for those of you who aren't sure, let me see if I can get this camcorder back to where it needs to go. Let's see. Do a close up. Hi, Alice. Okay. Now let me wipe it off because I think I got fingerprints on it. Let's see how that is. And it's a little hot in here. I have all these lights on. Oh, that's not good. I cut off my head. Okay, let's fix it a little bit more. Hi, Kansas City. It was very fun hanging out. My sharks are so gleeful. Yes, yes. You know, last year I found shark washi tape too late, and by the time I found it, I couldn't buy it. So I'm actually going to be getting shark washi tape early this year for Shark Week. And I'm going to be decorating with sharks. I like to pick a theme for each month. Valentine's was easy, red, pinks, hearts, that kind of thing. And that makes it easy to do props and stuff, which are cool. So you like the pink one? I knew you'd like the pink one, Persephone. So if y'all have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. I'm going to film and put the video up probably, hopefully I can get it up tomorrow. If not, it'll go up Sunday of my new journal setup. So y'all might get the plan with me tomorrow. I love Shark Week. I am a shark fan. I like Jaws and shark movies. My son got me hooked on sci-fi, weird bee kind of movies for Mind Candy. But I got hooked on Jaws when I was young. I actually watched it at the theater. I'm not quite sure what I was doing at that age watching it in the theater because I want to say it was like 9 or so when it came out, 9 or 10. And it was scary. I jumped. But I love anything and everything to do with sharks, shark movies. I bought my grandson a shark backpack. I wish I had one. I like Sharks and Snoopy and Dr. Seuss. I like the Grinch. I love the Grinch, and I like the Cat in the Hat. But it does a hell of a combination. I know no one else who could say I'm going to be decorating with sharks. Yes, I will be. I will actually. So I'm not over exaggerating when I showed my setup, because I set up early so that I wasn't intimidated. You can tell. So April's is got books for Camp NaNoWriMo. May has flowers, Mother's Day. June has flowers and feathers. And then here we get to July, and I have books because it's Camp NaNoWriMo. But when you get to July here, I've already put shark stickers. And what I did, because Shark Week is actually the end of July, the very beginning of August. So I did the books in July, but then I couldn't help myself. I put the sharks. That's the end of July where Shark Week starts. I did shark fins right here for the monthly calendar in my Hobonichi. And a couple of clam shells, like, you know, mermaid, where the fish or the mermaids were, you know. Yep. So I don't know. And I think it's because if you let yourself be afraid of things, and Jaws did scare me, but if you let yourself be afraid of things, then they, you know, you are giving away your power. But if you empower yourself with things, you know, like I used to be scared. Oh, I see the sharks. I used to be scared of spiders. My grandmother got bitten by a black widow when I was young. I think I was in high school, and she ended up in ICU and stuff. And she did okay, that she made it through. It was a pretty close call. But spiders like scared me after that. Finally, I was like, you know what? Now when I catch spiders, normally, unless they're kind that are poisonous that can hurt Victor, I just scoop them up with a piece of paper and I put them outside, you know. And then I drew the one really big spider and put it in my journal and called it Charlotte, like from Charlotte's Web. Hello. Did you draw the? Yes, I did. I don't have shark washi tape, and I do want some, but I don't have any. Last year in July, I drew a bullet journal shark theme. I drew a shark every day during July, just about, I think, at least for one or two. I drew them every single day for Shark Week. And then I drew quite a bit of them. I drew one once a week in July, and that first week of August, or whatever week it was that was Shark Week last year, I drew a shark every day. So, yeah, I'm hot. So, does anybody have any questions though? I'm going to be doing, like I said, the journal setup, because a few things are going to be changing. Hopefully that will be Sunday. If not, then if I have everything together, I'll put pictures up on Instagram and Facebook in the Facebook group if I don't get the video up. But otherwise, I should have it up by Sunday. So I'm excited. I am super excited. This is the first time in a very long while that I finished a journal from start to finish. And because of the camera angle, y'all actually get to see what's in here. You can actually see the mess. How, I know. Yeah, I drew my own shark washi, and I didn't draw washi because I didn't have it. And I know there's a way you can make your own washi tape, but I don't know how. So, and I don't really have the time most of the time to try to figure out how to do that. I think it's like masking tape or or sticky tape. But yeah, before I added the stickers, it was just a bunch of shark fins. It feels like a mess, Brenda. It feels like a mess. So yeah, before I added the stickers, it was just a lot of shark fins. And I'll probably be doing more shark fins and more sharks all throughout the month. And I'll figure out when exactly Shark Week is, and that whole week and the week before and the week, I don't know, for a few that week of and a couple of weeks before, I'll be drawing sharks. So I'm excited. My mouth is hurting now. So unless y'all have some questions, I'll answer any of the questions that you have, and then I'm gonna go take a pain pill, because pain pill and video or video editing do not mix. Your room is the same. It is a mess. Look, see, these I need to throw away. These I need to throw away. And this actually can, you're back sort of, you want to do art journaling, I kind of do, but inconsistent. Here's the thing about journaling. If you want to add art, some people prefer to text journal and add art sometimes. And don't pressure yourself to feel like you have to do it every single day. You could actually do something and work on it along and along and along. You could journal every day. If it's text journaling or adding a picture in text journaling or adding doodles or art or whatever. I guess people's interpretation of different things are different for what they consider to be journaling. I was pressuring myself to do prompts every single day. And you know what? I can't do it anymore. I was doing them every single day. Now, if I don't really have very much to put in my journal for my daily journaling, then I'll do a prompt. If I don't have something that I feel like merits journaling about, which is not usual, because there's always something out of my day I can journal about. Whether it's the breakfast that I had, Mr. Rockstar made us breakfast, you know, and so I could journal about that he made us breakfast and draw the breakfast that he made us. He does that when he's off. He will make us so that because rest of the time I cook. Or I could journal about something I watched on TV, or something that happened in the news, a show that I really like, or whatever. You can print out clip art from your computer printer, or you can go to Dollar Tree or somewhere, or what is a really good idea is to go to somewhere like a thrift store, get old children's books with illustrations, old comic, you can use comic strips from newspapers. You can use, if your kids, I don't know if any of you still have like those highlight magazines, or if kids even still get those things. Those work really good. Children's magazines, children's books with illustrations. You could print clip art. You can buy books that have illustrations or pictures in them from the thrift store for 50 cents to a couple of dollars, and cut that stuff out and put it in your journal pages. You do all kinds of things. I do any and all of the above. I just don't do that stuff every single day. Those are things that I do every now and again. If I end up with if I end up with a couple of the same books for Victor, I'll use those. I use stickers from his stuff that he gets when he'll get a Happy Meal or something sometimes, and he'll have stickers that come with it, and sometimes he likes stickers and sometimes he doesn't. And when he doesn't want the stickers, I use those stickers in my journal. I mean, I use stickers and I do things from all different kinds of things. I kid you not. For example, this is the card that came from our tax person. And I could cut those hands out of that and use that in my journal page. I don't want to do that because I need a keeper card. But you know, if I got, let's see, this was something that came out of a book and I saved it. It has some writing and a page number, and I will eventually put this maybe when it's the 9th or the 10th of a month, because this says 9 and this says 10, and I'll put it on the corner of a journal page with a little bit of writing, and then I'll write the date above it, like February or March or whatever month, and write it above there. You know, there's all different kinds of things. It got ripped out of a book of Victor's, and I kept it. This stuff came from the log attack. Like, now this is the information. But that little insert that came with the how-to instructions, where it shows you the pictures of how to take the back off and put the battery in, that's what I cut out and used it to go on my journal page, because I got my new my new mouse. I knew it would come out in a minute. This came in the mail. This thing from JCPenney's, and it has like coupons and pictures and stuff. And I could cut some of these out and put them in my journal. This came. I'm not sure I would actually use this, but I could cut some of the words out and use some of the words. This is one of those things where they tell you you've won a free car and it's a bunch of malarkey. This came, and they want me to sign up for something so I can get their internet or whatever instead of what I have. And I like the words better, faster now with, like, it has different, you know, it has the word plans. I'll cut out some of those words and put them in my little bag of stuff to use for everyday ephemera. You know, this came in the mail, and I'll cut out that word that says official. You've got word stickers. Yeah, I use word stickers, but I also use words that came from magazines. And there's all different kinds of things that you can use to put in your journals. You don't have to buy stuff necessarily. You get junk mail in all the time. And if you look at your junk mail, you'll see all different kinds. You know, you may not have a purpose for it right then and there, but if you put them in like put them in a Ziploc bag, cut them out, put them in a Ziploc bag, label your Ziploc bag word phrases, words and word phrases. And then there you go. Like, I do that with all different kinds of things, you know, that you do have to think outside of the box. And when I was first doing the Fogonichi journaling, there were a lot of ladies who I'd watched and who did this on a regular basis. I love watching Shannon Green and Dealy Delification, and there are quite a few others, and they use things from all different kinds of places. You know, there were quite a few other people, and that's where I kind of got some of how I journal from, is watching different people, because I do my own thing. You started saving things just because of your, yeah, thank you. But if you, not everybody wants to create art, as far as like drawing your own art, but there is nothing I love more than to put some color down on paper. If it's my personal journaling, if it's something I'm doing where I've thought about it, or it's something I kind of want to chronicle, like if there's something that I got in and I really love it, or something that happened and it made me think about it, or it was really sad, or I really enjoyed it or liked it, to put a little bit of color down on some paper and then journal over that watercolor. So if y'all have any questions though, if y'all know of anybody who's doing some videos that you highly recommend, some new people, I'm trying to stay away from people who have a tremendous amount of subscribers. I really want to recommend some of the smaller, some of the people who could really use some views. So yeah, I would really like to. There's a couple people who are kind of in that middle range. Like I have some people on there who are under 5,000 subscribers. There's one or two people who have quite a few more than I do, but are still under the 5,000. So, but yeah, let me know. And like I said, if you haven't already sent me your email, your address, and you are one of the people that I messaged or that emailed me and I don't have your address yet for the postcards, let me know. And because I'm getting all of it ready this weekend and next week, because next Friday on the 23rd, 24th, that's when I'm sending everything out. Yeah. So, well, that's what I'm saying. I want people who are under 1,000, under 5,000, under 3,000. I don't have 3,000. Last time I did this, there were people I said yes, follow, and they had less subscribers than I did, and now they have more subscribers than I do. So I need to find somebody who's bigger than me and will say, hey, check her channel out. But that's cool. I really like doing that. I think we should all share the love. So I'm gonna go, and I hope y'all have a good evening. Have a great weekend. And for those of you, happy belated Valentine's Day. And I'll see y'all with another video really soon. Bye, y'all.